Chapter 1: The Study of Ethics. At the end of Chapter 1, the students are expected to give the meaning of ethics and value education, discuss the importance of ethics, differentiate ethics and religion, and ethics and law. Ethics, defined as the science of the morality of human acts. It is said to be the study of human motivation and ultimately of human rational behavior. Ethics derived from the Greek word ethos, which means characteristic way of acting. Its equivalent is mores, meaning tradition or custom. Ethos includes cultural mannerisms, religion, politics, laws, and social aspirations of a group of people. In our study, ethos refers to those characteristics belonging to man as a rational being, endowed with intellect and free will. The ethos of man as man is revealed in the following. Number 1. He is able to distinguish between good and evil, right and the wrong, moral and immoral. Number 2. He feels within himself an obligation to do what is good and to avoid what is evil. Number 3. He feels accountable for his actions, expecting reward or punishments for them. To summarize, man is expected that he conducts himself according to the dictates of reason. Morality, that aspect of the subject matter which primarily interests ethics. Morality is the quality of human acts by which they are constituted as good, bad, or indifferent. Moral, that which is good. Immoral, that which is bad. Amoral, that which is indifferent. Human acts are those actions performed by man knowingly and freely, also called deliberate or intentional actions or voluntary actions, reveal the thoughts and inclinations of the person doing them, manifestation of one's character or moral conduct. Virtuous, a person who has the habit or inclination to do good. Vicious, one who has the habit of doing wrong. Acts of man are instinctive and involuntary. Ethics as value education. In the classical tradition, ethics is moral philosophy. As a branch of philosophy, ethics relies solely on human reason to investigate truths. Moral theology is different because moral theology employs reason insofar as it is enlightened by faith or divine revelation. In contemporary curriculum, ethics takes the form of value education. Value is something a person prizes, cherishes, and esteems as important to him. It includes ideas, things, or experiences. The aim of value education is to guide the individual in choosing wisely his values and in acting upon them. Ethics is the rational foundation of any attempt at value education. Ethics goes deeper into the reasons why we must choose certain values. Ethics explains human values in relation to the ultimate purpose of human existence. The art of correct living. Art, in general, is the appreciation of beauty. It implies order and harmony of parts in a given whole. Human life does not imply merely physical survival. It is a vocation towards the refinement of the spirit. The demands of daily life includes and derives meaning from the cultivation of those traits that truly reflect innate dignity. In this context, ethics is an art. It is the breath of life, pulsating with a desire for growth and development. It is a master plan indicating where man must go and what he ought to do in order to live well. In a sense, every man is an artist, creating something of beauty out of his self. Importance of ethics. Ethics is an indispensable knowledge. Without moral perception, man is only an animal. Without morality, man as rational being is a failure. Moral integrity is the only true measure of what man ought to be. One should be morally upright. According to Jacques Leclerc, greatness, perfection, and happiness consists in transcending the commonly accepted human good. Number 3, morality is the foundation of every human society. Two ethical systems, a theistic approach and theistic approach. A theistic approach, no God who creates and rules the universe. Man is responsible only to himself. Morality is an invention of man to suit his requirements and to preserve his society. Moral truths are temporary and mutable depending on the situation. Accordingly, the concept of good and evil is always relative and changeable. Its principle. Matter is the only reality. Man is matter and does not have spiritual dimension. Man is free and must exercise his freedom to promote the welfare of society. There is no life after death. Man is accountable only to the state. Theistic approach. Everything must conform to God's eternal plan of creation. Man must exercise his freedom in accordance with God's will. There are absolute principles of morality which are not changeable. Man is accountable for his actions and deserves either a reward or punishment in this life or in the next. Its principle. God is the supreme creator and lawgiver. Man is free and must use his freedom to promote his personal and social interest along with his fellow men. Man has an immortal soul which cannot die. Man is accountable for his actions, both good and evil. Ethics and religion. Ethics is a science and depends upon rational investigation of its truths. Ethics teaches the value of religion, presenting it as a duty to the Almighty. Religion is a system of beliefs and practices based on faith or revelation. Religion, as an organized church, contributes to the teaching of ethics and continues to enrich with its moral insights. Thus, religion provides both the direction and motivation for the moral life of people. All great religions hold life in deep respect and propose universal brotherhood as necessary for global peace and prosperity. Ethics and law. Ethics studies human motivation. It goes deeper than the study of external actions. It explores thoughts and feelings. It requires that man desires that which is good and acts in accordance with that desire. Law, on the other hand, requires that we perform the required action regardless of our feelings towards such action. The law is concerned with the externality of the act. Mortimer J. Adler says, "For law is definitely concerned with what we do, not with what we feel." Ethical norms cover thoughts and feelings. Laws do not judge man's thought and desires. In the Ethics of St. Paul, for example, a man commits adultery when he regards a woman lustfully. This is not the case with law, which requires an external act as a proof that a crime has been committed. Morality, therefore, has a wider implications than law because it can either be moral or immoral. Thus, what is legal is not necessarily moral, but what is moral is necessarily worth legalizing. Ethics is not simply a body of do's and don'ts in the manner of laws are. Ethics is a personal commitment to uphold what is true and good. Ethics aims to develop right disposition and inner spirit for accepting what is lawful. Professional ethics. A code of ethics implies that, before anything else, a professional is a person who has the obligation to listen to the dictates of reason.